Alright, hello everyone, and welcome back to our Battletech Advanced 3062 Irby Derby campaign. Today we're doing something a little bit more difficult. We're stepping it up from 2.5 skull difficulty to 4 skull difficulty, which, I will admit, will make me a little bit nervous here, at least until we have the enemy in sight and understand their capabilities a little bit better than we currently do. And I've already made a mistake because our battle armor has just been left completely behind. As I need to hitch a ride for right now on the Centurion and the Dervish, so we'll have to move those two mechs back on the next turn and, well, get everybody on their way. As it is right now, there is only one known OPT-4 lance, and our positioning looks okay. We look like we'll be sort of on this elevated ridge. That will give us a pretty decent advantage in shooting compared to the OPT-4. So we're going to move up most everything, the one exception being the two mechs that we need in order to have battle armor hitch a ride, just because those guys have proved to be some very effective supporting fire for the rest of our lance. So we'll move back there as little as we have to, but alas, non-zero. And now let's mount up with Battle Claws, see what we can do. This does mean that, well, our Dervish and Centurion will be a turn late getting into the party. That hopefully will be, oh no.
They're heading your way.
And we have enemy reinforcements, so at least one of those is a vehicle, 80-ton vehicle. We all know how I feel about this at this point. Let's go ahead and reserve down, let them move, and then we'll continue to move up. I don't want to give them a chance to shoot at me with any sort of indirect fire, artillery, or similar if I can avoid it. So let's get the, well, the Centurion has better movement speed, so let's get moving up. Yeah, we've almost caught up. Dervish will be a little slower, but the Centurion, I think, shouldn't be too terrible, catching up to the rest of the lance. Yeah, Dervish, well, not even that much slower. It's okay. We'll be alright. I mean, I know I didn't move Centurion as far as he can, but only by one, I think. Alright, get the Marauder going. We unfortunately have to move across this bridge quasi-single file just because of the drop location, which, I mean, that does happen sometimes. That's one of the artifacts of the random drop, improved drop sort of system, which, well, has its own trials and tribulations, but what it does do is make it so that you're not dropping into the same place every time, and that does get a little bit old. The variety is quite nice. It makes it feel like there are more maps than there actually are available, just because, well, you know, we're not always seeing the same map with the same angle. Oh geez. Alright, so there's a 100-tonner, there's a 75-tonner, and then there's a line of vehicles. And let's get a look at this 100-tonner. It's probably a good idea. Atlas AS7S, that I think is a standard configuration Atlas. A little bit disappointing, no. Okay, double streak SRM2, that is a little bit fancier tech. And right now we're just going to brace the two battle armors because I want them to continue to hitch a ride on their big brother mechs over there. Okay, well let's let these guys get a move on. Curious what the vehicles will do. That 60-tonner is probably a carrier of some sort, maybe an LRM carrier, or an SRM carrier, something like that. While as the heavier ones, the 80-tonners, are probably heavier tanks. There's a 60-ton mech as well that we have eyes on. Let's see. Okay, let's move the Irby Lamb. Maintain evasion just in case they do go for a sensor lock on us, which is entirely possible. And drop off sensor lock, so we know that's an Atlas 7S. Let's see that 75-tonner. That's a Laohu. Well, that's unfortunate. I'm never too interested in the parts for the Laohu. Although, it's a fine mech, it's just, you know, maybe LBX AC-20 will be particularly dangerous to our Irby Lamb because the shrapnel from that, the flechettes from that anyway, will be able to dish out considerable damage with very high accuracy, even if they're not landing the full 100 from an AC-20 slug. They don't need to. They only need to land about 30 or so before we're going to have trouble with armor blow-throughs on the Irby Lamb. So right now he's consigned to a scouting role, which is exactly what I was afraid of. You know, the higher we increase our skull rating, because even a little bit of persistent LRM fire or artillery fire can start to really add up there. So 84% chance, and we'll get our opening salvo on the way against that blue. Probably need to bring more ammunition for the LRM 20 rack on the Wolverines. A lot of weight, 10 tons for the rack, and only 1 ton of ammunition is maybe not my best idea ever, to be honest. But I don't know what I was thinking. Sometimes I make mistakes in mech building, and well, there's nothing to do for it. I correct it when you realize that. Okay, so we've got Centurion moving up, we've got the Dervish moving up. Next round, or the one after, we should be able to start to lay down some pretty devastating fire from that elevated ridge. And once again, just brace Chancellor and Bobsled in their battle armor. I am looking forward to getting those King David Gauss rifles online from range. It should be a good time. There's an 80 tonner as well, probably either a Zeus or a Victor, given that was the Canopians, but I could be wrong about that. And let's let them all go again. Bit of a slow start to this one. It's possible I might cut it a little bit for time and then just pick up here where there's a little bit more action, but we'll see. You know what? No, never mind. That's fine. I like the sort of intro and positioning and getting those thoughts down, so if nothing else, it tells you what I'm thinking of doing for the upcoming engagement, even if that doesn't manage to become a reality. Hopefully they'll all move on this one. Yep. Now, it will be a challenge to get the coil online, just because the range from height will be a significant obstacle to overcome. Could get the Gauss truck moving up here. Let's see about the Marauder. Yeah, this is the better move, because we don't want ourselves after return fire, we have to do it anyway. And now those 3 remaining enemy mechs do have to move, or they will just, well, have to brace for the turn. So, we should have eyes on that 80 tonner. I don't know why that sensor lock didn't reveal stealth. That's interesting. That might tell me something. Well, okay, it looks like a visual glitch, because we do have targeting solution. No, we don't have targeting solution on him. Interesting. Alright, well, we'll move up to the Wolverine. That's fine. So the name of the game here is going to be coordinated fire, one thing at a time, because they might outgun us, at least for a little bit. Never what you want to have going on, but maybe a little unavoidable for right now, just because we have spiked the difficulty so hard up to a 4-skull mission without fielding more heavy mechs or things like that, or better technology to put more guns on board on our side. Okay, so we've got the Dervish going. That's fine. We will have precision strikes ready by the time we're actually able to shoot. And let's see, let's move the Ostrak up. Shrek PPC carrier. Yeah, triple PPCs on a very tough vehicle body. 1, 2, 3, and 4 hits from the lasers. Pretty good. It's a start, anyway. And let's get Edmund moving up. And okay, so there's what, 60 ton, 80 tonner back there. I want as good accuracy as I can get on these vehicles. Let's go here. We're gonna pop them over the ridge, take a shot, hopefully damage some of these vehicles well enough to take advantage of it with the other ones, with our other mechs. And then bop back out of line of sight. That's a hybrid carrier, TRM, and LRM that needs to die. These Thunderbolts, if they make contact, will be absolutely devastating. Okay, that's some good damage. That's pretty good. And can we pop these guys down yet? Probably will. Yeah, actually we can. Okay, maybe not. Bit of a mistake. I thought because of the circle they'd be able to go that far, but I think that's just the mount upper swarm button, which seems to extend their movement range a little bit. It's a little bit weird, but alright. Now, I know we're nowhere near being able to drop him down from that Centurion. Unfortunately, or from the Dervish. Unfortunately. Okay, so let's get this battle armor. That seems risky. You know what, we're doing it. Are we doing it? Well, yeah, we're doing it. Well, it'll be alright. It'll be fine. Trust me, it'll be fine. Activated ability, shielded stance, because please don't die. And let's use that height advantage to put as many guns as we can on the Shrek PC carrier. Hopefully take that soon. yeah, that was worthwhile. Structure exposed. Should only take one more volley to hit that if we can get a decent hit direction on him, which I think that we can. So let's get the Irby Lamb. Well, you know what? 8 evasion pips, but that's a bad facing. Evasion pips, that's fine. This is risky, but we're going for it. 8 evasion pips will hopefully not make him a target, and I want that PPC carrier dead. Actually, can I shoot at the TRM carrier still? Cycling through targets. Yes. You know what? Take out the TRM carrier, please. That guy could just kill you. Alright, come on. Let's do it. Let's get a clustering. There it is. There we go. First kill. Very nice. And that takes lots of their missile support off the board, which I'm very happy with. Chancellor, unfortunately, is not going to be very useful at the moment, but we can just reserve him down. One of the nice things as you do go up in difficulty is you generally can make up for the difference in guns with being able to go first. So the Vargar APC is an exception to that. But only putting a couple LRMs in on Ostra shouldn't be too much of an issue. Not even using any specialty ammunition by the look of it. So that's fine with me. And now we have the chance to get our big guns online. Not a lot of evasion pips here is a little bit of a worry, but let's see what we can do. Marauder moving up. Lauhu or the Atlas. LRM 20, AC 20. Haven't forgotten about the Shrek PPC carrier. I'm just trying to see what other damage I can do on these guys. I think let's go after the Lauhu. I want the LBX AC 20 offline. And light them up. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's what we like to see. Pretty good. Admittedly, pretty good damage resistance on them right now, but you know, we're starting to get through it, and that's what counts. Ostrok is moving on 5, of course he is. Wolverine might be able to take out the Shrek PPC carrier with that LRM rack of his. Just get some good clustering on it, but maybe. Let's give it a shot. I'm feeling lucky. Yep, there we go. Okay, so we've taken 3 PPCs offline, which is a very nice start to that as well. I'm feeling pretty good about this. I think we stayed down at lower difficulties longer than we necessarily had to. Mostly my fault out of caution because of high lethality rules that we're currently playing with. But I think we can rectify that now. Especially I have taken this for salvage, so we might be able to start getting some Atlas parts, things like that. Make us a little bit more effective. We go to slug ammunition for the LBX AC-10. You don't see it very often these days, but with the height elevation, size difference, and precision strike, we're doing pretty well here in terms of accuracy, and that does seem to be a good decision. Open up structure on the Lauhu, which works for me. Yeah, in 2 locations, so both the arm and the shoulder. Feeling pretty good about that. Let's see, we might be able to get some long range. I know it's risky standing next to the phalanx, but we want to see if we can take that Lauhu out of commission. Nope, only the tag able to shoot this range. That's unfortunate. Well, let's shoot it in anyway. Get the tag online there. Tag mark, target acquired. +1 for the rest of our shooting. And what we're going to do is we're going to pop the Chancellor down and off of this map. And I have nowhere I can shoot from. Interesting. So we'll go back here. We'll have him up firing line next turn. Okay. So far, so okay. I mean, taking 2 out of commission is pretty good. That is a Charger for the 80-tonner, so I was wrong about that. Charger's unfortunately not that interesting of a standard chassis, at least. They tend to be built on huge engines with minimal firepower, I guess, as sort of an anti-scout mech, assault mech, so you get good mobility, good armor, and you're basically supposed to shrug off incoming enemy fire and close. And once you close, you can get small lasers online, things like that. The Ostrok we're going to keep on the move, because if we just stand there, we will take way too much fire for my liking. This does bring some guns off the field for us right now. We're going to pop Vigilance, get the rest of the crew to be inspired, and turn for the next round. Atlas 7 coming up, firing in the Marauder. A little bit expected, 2 evasion pips that we had there. Luckily, not great contact, actually I think no contact from those LRMs. Height difference is doing that mostly. I mean, we do get a +1 difficulty to hit size delta, off of the assaults. But I don't think that's really going to break here. Pretty good firepower coming in from one of the remaining vehicles as well, so we will have to take a look at that Rhino. I kind of overlooked it because Thunderbolt carriers are a bit more deadly, but twin LRM-20 racks is, you know, pretty heavy firepower as well, so it's not something we can afford to leave online forever. And I have a good feeling about this. I think we're doing okay. I think we're going to be able to collect our paycheck, not really have too many pilots in the mech bay unless we take something like a head hit or something like that. Alright, Lahu opening up. Doesn't actually use the LBX. Works for me. Does land a couple missiles though. And that facing is a decent facing, so we've damaged his right-hand side, and he's showing his center and left-hand side to our flanking position on their lands. So, yeah, that was smart. It's a good idea. Not a good enough idea, because we have better flanking capabilities than he's aware of. And this is not as dangerous a position as it might first seem. We have the rock protecting us from these two mechs in the back, and I'm hoping at least that some of the OP4 won't still be online by the time it's, well, time for us to take some answering fire. Shooting in a couple of those streak SRMs to do good work, and that is a dead mech. So we do get a kill on a pretty heavy mech from our Urbi Lamb, redeeming himself a little bit from the performance of the last couple of missions. Yeah, no complaints there, really. How do we not have a firing angle? Interesting. This seems like a nice way to have battle armor die, but let's give it a shot. Shooting him with the Vargar. Okay. Good contact. Looks like some extraordinarily heavy armor on the Vargar APC. I'm kind of impressed. Yeah, wow. Ah. Assault mech level armor on that guy. And I don't know why I can't get good shots with the Phalanx battle armor, but we're just going to move around the side. I think it's an interesting thing maybe about the cliffs. Who knows? But we'll get the whole team inspired. And, well, that's worth something at least. Let's move up the Ostrock. This is not as good of a position as I thought it was. We might have to go around this whole side, down that road and around, to get good firing solutions, which is very much not what I had in mind. Let's see. Get up here, 4 evasion pips with the coil isn't phenomenal damage, but it's better than nothing. I think... Wow, such heavy armor. Alright, let's shoot into the Rhino. I think getting those LRM-20s off the board is... Oh, jeez. Out of range of the coil. Out of range of the coil. In range of the coil. So we're going to shoot at what we can, keep that heavy damage online. And right now it looks like it's the Vargar, so we'll do it. I mean, it does eventually have to die anyway, so it's not like it's a complete waste. It's just not the best targeting priority, I would say. And that is worth something to keep in mind. So let's move up here and start getting fire on the Atlas as well. Precision strike coming in. Double ER larges. We're going to be running a little bit hot. This is a desert biome, and those do decrease the effectiveness of your heat sinks. I don't remember quite by how much. I think it's like 20% maybe. Somewhere in that ballpark at least. And we're just going to stand still and shoot, because this is apparently a shooting gallery. Double binary laser on target when the medium's finding his mark as well, and that Atlas won't be happy with that for very long. And yeah, he can take it for right now, but look, I mean, we're nearly chewing through his right torso. That's where that AC-20 is stored, and that makes me a very happy man. So, can I get my missiles online? I can. Obstructed shot, that's okay. Let's see what we can do. Let's get a tag on here. Precision strike does allow us to target location because of, I believe, no, not FCS Advanced TC, that would be Max's pilot skill then. Oh yeah, very nice. Very, very nice. Nearly a knockdown. And that Atlas is unsteady. We're pounding into an exposed right torso. Should be pretty good for us. And let's get the Centurion moving around. No, actually just stand still and shoot. Keep the medium lasers and SRM rack in range. We're going to switch back to the cluster. Hopefully we'll lop off that AC-20. Actually, I think I've already critted it. There's the knockdown. Very nice. Pilot injured. Didn't kill the... Oh, yeah, there's the right torso. Very nice. Very, very nice. Okay, so we've killed 2 of the vehicles. We've killed 1 of the mechs. Of the 8 initial Op 4s, only 5 remaining. and the two vehicles aren't even the more deadly vehicles. Charger back there isn't really going to be able to do anything to us at range. I think we just sit up here at firing line and make our way through the rest. That quick draw, usually a bit of a pushover mech. I mean, it's fast but not heavily armed for the tonnage. But so far he's done the best work on us. Quad medium laser SRM4 and is a non-negligible loadout. We are taking significant LRM fire on the Marauder and the Rhino. I'm not sure why it did so little damage, maybe some specialty ammunition that just isn't well suited for the task. But we only have 10% damage resistance, so it shouldn't be coming from that. Charger moving up. Okay, better guns on there than I said, but no joy on shooting at our Wolverine. I mean, they're just going to have a devil of a time making up the height difference, the size delta. This is not what you want. You want your assault mechs in good field positions, shooting down at the lighter mechs that can't take that firepower. That's the benefit. You're trading mobility and size delta, your own evasion and protection away, in order to make sure that your good shots really are crippling. This, of course, means that if your good shots aren't crippling, well, you have a problem. So we're going to move over here, I think, get the only face I can, it doesn't sound completely suicidal, and just shoot in the back of the quick draw. I'm not sure I know of a better use of the light guns that we have on this guy. Yeah, and that's not a lot of armor protection on the Streaks firing in, we do have structure exposed, and we've taken 2 of the medium lasers offline. Very nice, quite happy with that. Yeah, that cuts his effective long-range firepower nearly in half. Not quite in half, but nearly in half. And let's go ahead and stand still and shoot. We're out of SRM4s, but we can still get the King Davids online. Not a lot of damage from those, unfortunately. I mean, even if they do hit their targets, which is not a guarantee. Let's go back around this way. A little bit unsure what to do with that one piece of phalanx armor. But that's alright. We'll figure it out. Barger APC moving up. We're splitting fire more than I'd like, but that's just because we don't have great firing angles on these guys. They're so close to the cliff that there's not really all that much I can do. And I'm not willing to sacrifice the height advantage just because of how decisive it's been proving so far in keeping us safe. So I've lost my shot on the Atlas with this guy. Could shoot the quick draw, but we're getting good fire on his rear arc. And from right here I can stand and have a good shot. Double binary lasers on the Rhino, so let's go ahead and take that. Or on the Varger. Well, the Rhino is more deadly. Yep, okay. Rhino has target priority when we can. Unfortunately, we miss a literal 99.1% chance shot. Oh man, 0.9% of the time that'll happen. So, I guess it'll happen eventually to us. And shooting at the Rhino again. A lot of armor for us to make our way through there. And it's a little bit deceptive too. I think I've said this before, maybe once or twice, but on something like an Atlas, yeah, it has more armor, but there are more locations, which means that the actual armor value per location is not really that much better. While as those vehicles with hit locations or rear armor, things like that, can be astoundingly resilient, just because it's so hard to penetrate one of their hit locations. I think we're doing good work on the Atlas. I'd like to switch this back to Slug, just because cluster on armor doesn't really get us much, and we'll fire first. Looks like it is structure exposed, and the SRMs able to follow it up. Oof! Pilot eject 4 salvageable parts. We will have ourselves an Atlas on the board soon, and I'm a very happy man because of it. So let's get on the move with the Ostrock. Oh man, I'm already thinking about what we can do for that build. I have a double heatsink kit we can upgrade it with. We'll have to put in oh man, I want an XL engine on there, but I don't have a Clan XL engine that would be safe, so maybe not the best idea. Interesting. One lesson that we did learn from the last campaign is that slow Atlases don't get us much. Slow assault mechs don't get us much with my style of play. Which, I mean, we're not doing my style of play right now because we don't have the available mobility just from the type of not that hard, but... Oof, yeah, okay, that's a lot of damage. I need things to be able to move faster than 3-5. 3 on the move, 5 on the sprint. It's just not quick enough. I will leave it behind with the rest of my lance. It'll be out of position, and it won't be able to actually help us get any coordinated firepower. So we'll have to put at least a 300 rated, excuse me, sorry, apologies. At least a 300 rated engine on there, probably a 340 or a 360, with an XL engine for the free tonnage. I might make an episode of it, to be honest. We might do that in the mech bay, and put that up there, because that'll be, I think, an exciting process to go through. There are some, you know, of the mech bay series episodes up as well, but those I'm doing with the full range of possible equipment available to me, and that's very much not what we have right now in our campaign. We don't have very much at all actually available to us in terms of in terms of loadouts that we can do. So we're constrained to what we have in our part storage. Why is it telling me that I won't have a shot here? I should have a shot, but I don't. That's weird. It looks like it's saying that I'm too far in range, but King David should have that much range. You know what? Pop Vigilance, that's fine. Just inspire the rest of the lance and embrace. Little annoying. We'll do the same thing here, though. At least that is getting us better resolve for the rest of our lance. It's a use. It's not the ideal use, but it is a use. I'm a little concerned. Yep, okay, that's fine. Now, if I hadn't reserved down those battle armors, they would be able to shoot the Vargur, so a little bit of wasted opportunity there, unfortunately. And now let's get the Marauders guns online. Good. So we could shoot at the Charger as paper thin armor, because I forgot he's one of those Chargers. Sacrifices all his protection. Not relative to fight back, but at that point, frankly, just use a medium. That's a more efficient use of tonnage for that sort of light mech hunter role. Really a failed design in my opinion. But hey, I'm not fielding it, so I have no complaints. Let's get a precision strike on it, and I mean, just watch the damage these SRMs do to the Charger. Yeah, I mean, the fraction of armor melted off by that is altogether far too much for the mech to call himself any sort of respectable assault mech. At least that's how I feel about it. So let's go back to a little bit of indirect fire here. I want to save the Wolverine from being completely wrecked after this, and we are getting a little bit danger close on his arms. We do have 2 ER large lasers in the right arm, so losing that would be expensive to start. There's no reason to do it. The kills have slowed down a little bit just because of bad positioning and chunking our way through vehicles. I fully expect to be the last things on the board, but we are making our way. I mean, the Charger is nearly dead. And let's see, Ridgehound might be able to finish him off. Probably will. We're gonna go back to Cluster instead of Slug because of all the exposed structure. And yeah, okay, so 3 left. Quick draw will probably die to 1 more volley from our Irby Lamb. 5 parts in the Charger that nobody wants. No, it's okay. Oof, okay, so he's actually turning around and taking pot shots at the Irby Lamb, which exposes his rear arc to our main lance. Might be able to take advantage of that, might not. Okay, let's get on the move here with the Ostrock. Keep that coil online if we can, which we cannot. Okay, shoot into the Rhino. Just chunk through that frontal armor as much as possible. Looks like we got a couple hits on location. Looks like one of them was on the side as well. 88 left out of 320, and it's almost double the Atlas, one of the most fearsome mechs in all of Battletech had on any one of his hit locations, including his central torso, although that would push 200, 210 sometimes, so it's a bit of an exaggeration on my end, but I mean, just how much armor do they need? Wow. Okay, so we'll move over here on the sprints, and I think we'll fire in, quick draw again. Almost. We're so close to it. Precision strike to increase the chance the Streak SRM4 is being useful. There it is, that's dead mech. Enemy Lance is gone, just the 2 vehicles remaining, which will be hopefully wrapping up in only a couple rounds of shooting. I don't think it'll take us much more than that. Okay, so we have firing solution here. Let's take it. Oh, we'll do shielded stance. Just because if we can shoot them, they can shoot us. There it is. A lot of damage resistance on that Varger, but we're getting through it, I think. Yeah, side torso is pretty exposed there. Not what I really wanted, but what we got. 1, 2, 3, and 4. There we go. Really makes me want to put quad Gauss rifles on something if I can. Might be a little bit of wishful thinking. Yeah, see, they're just hiding from our bigger guns. I mean, hey, good for you, AI. You're learning that getting shot equals bad. But, a little too late, don't you think? Okay, so when we have the firing solution, we fire at the Rhino. That's the rules. Let's see what we do. I think one of those hit the front. Don't know why we're doing so little damage to them. I mean, that was a binary laser. It should be dealing tremendous damage, and instead it was barely 50. So you know what? Let's get the dervish moving down around the side. I hope it won't be necessary, but I mean, we're just plinking at these guys, not doing much at all. Shooting here. Last volley. It really does say that we need more. At least one more time, because that is some of our most effective fire on the Rhino at this point. Ridge Hound. I mean, come on. Just, let me shoot you, please. Okay. This is at least an option. We have the LBX AC-10 online. I want cluster, probably. Oh no. Red slug. Oh, did we get lucky? We got lucky. Structure exposed on the front end of that Rhino. We might be able to kill him. Come on. Give me a W. 1 and 2. There it is. Okay. That wasn't nearly as bad as I was expecting it to be. Just the Varger left now. And all of us left to kill it. So let's wait down. Let's let him move. And we'll just go twice and pound through it if we need to. Should be enough. Oh, yeah, he's moving into a better position for us to fire him. Landing a couple shots in the phalanx, but this is why we popped that 50% damage resist. Which I wonder if it's erroneously being applied to some of the enemy lances, or max, not both. Lex is not a thing. As well. 53, I mean, 24% damage resistance, that math does make sense, but doing something like 6 damage off the King David's makes no sense at all. For the amount of damage resistance that Varger had last time. So, let's keep shooting at him. Okay, no firing solution there, so just brace, that's fine. Centurion, get those guns online. Nope, that's an obstructed shot. We'll be shooting our own men. And that is 2. You know what? I accidentally killed my own battle armor here out of impatience, then I deserve to pay them. Ah, we're okay. Yeah, we're fine. Viper can move up in the Wolverine. He's one of our most rookie pilots, and it's proving to be a bit of an issue, but we're getting him experience, so it's fine. It'll be good eventually. We do have structure exposed, and we might be able to capitalize on it with Edmund, so let's come over here. I think it was... Okay, so yeah, so it's the right-hand side, so we need to flip around to the other side. This is where we're benefiting from that 360-degree torso twist available on your and you can do it. There we go. Precision strike. Get those streaks online. Dead vehicle. Very nice. Okay, that's the mission. Thank you guys for hanging around, and we'll see you again real soon.